But I would like to know, who are you and what do you do?
Who am I? Great question. Well, my name is Johanna. I work as a relationship manager for a team called Startup and Growth within Nordea. Have done that for the past 4 years. But who I am as a person, I was born and raised in Dalarna. Used to be a professional athlete within alpine skiing.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
I just love that adrenaline rush that sports can give. But now, the last couple of months, I have been starting to become in love with Pilates. So I've started doing that instead.
That's great.
Yeah, because I feel like the older I get, the more flexibility my body needs as well as strength.
I hear you.
And now I am about to get my second child.
Yeah. Even more important then.
Yes, exactly. So that's a new journey then, embarking in February.
It is.
Yeah. So
I had a discussion with Kyle Rowley before, also an athlete, basketball player. But he's not only is he a very good basketball player, he's also amazing. A really good founder or entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But we will talk about funding.
Fun.
You work with mainly growth companies.
I am.
What kind of revenue should they have before they turn to Nordea Growth?
So I think that before we go into like the revenue stage, it's important to understand why we're focusing on revenue.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between bringing in investor capital and getting a bank loan.
Yeah.
Because an investor capital you get at point A, and then that will grow and have an exit at point B. When you get a bank loan, you're gonna start paying that off straight away with your paying customers. Yeah. So there needs to be a proof of concept. You need to find your product market fit, and you need to have a business that is actually supportive of your cash flow,
right?
So to say.
Right.
So the team is called Startup and Growth. Maybe we should be called Scale Up and Growth, because before we are relevant for the companies, they have to have reached a scale up phase. So we say that about 10 million in revenue.
Yeah.
Then you have Swedish crowns. Then you have like a good banking case to start with.
Yeah.
We have lent money to companies at an earlier stage, and that is actually what we have learned is that is actually not helping them as much.
Right.
Because then, I'm not going to say that it's easy to start a company and get a revenue, but if you are below 10 million SEK, then you could have customers that are actually not your customers, so to say.
Right.
And if you have a bank loan, you will be squeezed into a quite not so flexible system. Even though it's cheap to have a bank loan, you're still gonna have to pay it back.
Right. And what do you mean with cheap to have a bank loan?
When it comes to interest and amortization, we are definitely the cheapest there is on the market.
And also compared to owner capital. In the long run, that can be very expensive as well.
Exactly. And also when it comes to my companies are not profitable, so we just have to put that out there. If you are a profitable company, you can work with loans a lot easier. But if you're not profitable, then you need Startup and Growth. And lending money from other actors when you're not profitable is a much higher risk for them. So they will charge you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. And what would be your advice for a scale-up company when they're at say that they're raising Series A in this case? What would be the perfect match between bank loan and owner capital?
So there is something called the dolphin strategy that the banks love, meaning that if you have proven that you can be profitable and then choose growth strategy, then we have a much easier time to lend you more money. So if you go into your Series A round and you have proven that you have a profitable business, then the amount of loan that you can get compared to ownership money could be much larger. Okay. And in that way you can hold on to your owner shares a bit longer.
Right.
But then you can choose to grow with no profitability throughout some years. because then you have proven to us that you can pay the loan back.
Okay.
So to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What mistake do you see founders do? You shouldn't discussing customer, but what type of mistake do you see startup founder do after they've gotten a loan with you?
They think that it's very easy for us to just give them, for example, if they have trouble with their liquidity, that they can just come to us and we will solve it.
Right.
And I can understand how you think that, because that's usually how the discussion goes in media.
Yeah,
that you can just call your bank.
Exactly.
It will fix everything.
No, exactly.
And that is not how it works.
No.
We never want to see a company go bankrupt, but we can also only do so much.
Yeah.
So usually we stay on until there's nothing more that we can do. But you have to have a discussion with your owners if you do end up in financial difficulties, and then the bank can add on help. But we are not going to lend you more money if we see that your business is not going well. Yeah.
If there's a temporary liquidity crisis, like a customer that failed to pay, is that something you can cover? If they can show that it's a healthy business, we have other money coming in, but right now we are in liquidity crisis.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And that's why it's so important that you have a good person that you talk to at your bank. So if the person behind the desk at your bank isn't understanding your business, then switch, because that's, I mean, it's business.
And you work with people.
Yeah, and it's a relationship business. Banking is a relationship business. I would say that, yes, we can help you out, but it also depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Usually we would like to see that, and also it depends on the amount, obviously.
Yeah.
Because what we usually do is that we ask the owners to step in and take one part, and then we can take one part. And if they also have other funding from other places, like Almi, for example, they also need to step in and do their part. So it's usually a group work.
Okay.
At least in startup and growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that sounds healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone needs to chip in.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to if you have signed contracts and you have already sent the invoice, then obviously it's easier for us to help out, because then we know there's money coming in.
Of course.
But if it's more like, we didn't bring in as many customers as we think that we were gonna do, we didn't sell as much.
No, exactly.
Then it becomes more of an ownership question than a bank question.
I get it. If you would give startups one advice when it comes to fundraising in 2026, what would that be?
Show your investors that you can sell.
Yeah.
And that you have attraction on your product. Yeah. I can actually give an example. It's a very cool example. I have been following a company very close up. They are not tech entrepreneurs,
okay.
But they have a tech platform and they are now making a very successful exit from that. But in the beginning, they had an idea, but that idea was only used as a framework. They started building something, and then they went out to the market and asked, is this good enough? So what the product is today is only 10% of the original idea.
Yeah.
And they only focused on selling the product.
Yeah.
That's it. So they already had a revenue before they were bringing in investors, meaning that they only needed to bring in investors once, because they were able to then just keep on selling the product, building their business. Yeah, exactly. And then they have been non-profitable too, because the investors have put in a bit more money, but they never needed to do plan these fundraising journeys.
Right.
So there are other ways to also run businesses.
Yeah.
So I would say that when you're fundraising, remember that you don't have a company unless you sell something.
But isn't that like your first customer are the best investors?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they will give you the proof of concept that you need to bring in the money.
Exactly.
Too.
Exactly.
Because if as long as you only need to live on investor money, that's just how do you say?
Fondmata.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know the English word either.
So it isn't until the company is actually profitable and showing something on the bottom row that it's self-funding, so to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. So much fun to be here.